and welcome to another video. So today I'm here to start setting up my September setup in my reading journal. And last month was the first month I didn't use a bullet journal monthly kit, and I did this desert theme. I do these really early, so August hasn't even started yet. I am only a little halfway past the middle of July. So this is all still blank, but I am going to start September. And just like with August, I thought that I would kind of pull together my own theme. And this theme is inspired by this coloring book. So this is an Enchanted Forest coloring book. I have owned it for maybe 6 years now, and I do not use it. I don't have the patience to color in a lot of the things. I've done like one full drawing or one full coloring page, and then I've started others, but I rarely open this book, and I thought that it would be really cool to pull and cut out elements of this and pull out pages and stuff and use it in my September setup. So this Enchanted Forest coloring book design scheme thing, that is my theme for September, and I've already pulled everything that I'm going to want to use for this setup and cut out things and stuff like that so that I can just piece it all together. So that's what this is here. It's clipping together all the pages I have prepped. And in this setup, it's just about putting together the actual pages. I'm not going to color stuff in. I don't know if I will or won't. I will probably color things in kind of as I want to, like just for fun here and there, but coloring it in isn't the focus of the spread. The spread is just the design elements itself. So I am going to start with my cover page like usual, and for this I wanted to have this page here. I don't know that I will turn it into a quote page. I'm still unsure about that. If I do, it will probably be not in this video, but I am going to paste it down here. And then for the page that actually says September, I thought it would be cool to take the nameplate from the coloring book. So this book belongs to, but then I'll just write September here. So I've cut them out to size. I will paste them in and round out the corners and then be right back. All right, so these are glued in now. One thing to note about this particular coloring book is that the pages are off-white. So Archer and Olive has a very bright white paper, and this is kind of a cream color, which is different, and I'm not I think it's pretty cool. I'm not too thrown off by it. I don't think I would want a whole journal to be this color paper, but for this month, I think it's going to work out. So I have this here to be colored in maybe sometime, and then this here, and I'm going to letter in September now. All right, so there's that. That's the cover page. So this is going to be a really quick setup because there's not a lot that I have to hand draw, and I did a lot of prep ahead of time. So cover page. Here we've got my TBR and monthly pages. And for this, I actually took a sheet that had this drawing in it. So it's this castle, and then it has like a little, I don't know, like a trunk or stump or something here, and I cut this off, and then I cut this in half because I wanted to span across both sides of the page. And then over here I'm going to have my TBR, and over here I'm going to have my monthly. And because there's less space here, I'm not going to do my typical grid monthly, so I have been doing this. Instead, I'm going to do 1 through 30 all the way down this side, and I just use this monthly to outline like major events or the date I finish a book. And so I think it's going to work out well because even vertically, like there's not too much I need to write per day. For example, this is what July is shaping up like. July has actually been a huge reading month for me. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that I finished, but I just wrote the names in the little calendar, and then I outlined some travel that I was doing. So I think this is going to work out, and I'm going to start with this half and paste it in. I'll paste both sides in and then figure out what I want to do with the headers and things like that. So there's this setup or the spread. I'm not a fan of the lettering, especially this TBR. My capital R's are not fantastic, and I thought I could figure it out, but no, I couldn't. Nevertheless, I think it's going to look good, especially once I color this in, if I do. I think that's going to help it a lot because this is the centerpiece, right? And because this is not colored in, it kind of blends in, but if I do take the time to color it in, I think it's going to really make this spread come together. I have 6 boxes over here for my TBR for the month, and then over here 1 through 30, and I've highlighted Mondays because in my head Monday's the beginning of the week. So Monday, 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 Monday. And then at the bottom I just added a few stickers from the Botanicals Happy Planner sticker book because the line art style and the neutrals matched this artwork well, I thought. So I put those in here. I added some gold because the cover of the coloring book does have some gold on it. So the black, the gold, and then the cream paper all come together well, I think. And that's it. That's the end. That's this whole spread. Now, we are on to the reading log. And for this one, I have my standard reading log like chart here that I've had for the past couple of months. I really like it. It makes this page easy to set up because I don't have to draw this out. I don't have to draw all the lines, right? I don't fill it in. I don't add numbers. I could add numbers. That might make my life easier. I could go back and do that. But I didn't when I first made the file. And then the top I also don't fill out. So the top should say something like the book I read, the page I started on, the page I ended on, and then the total pages read that day. I have 2 lines per day because I typically read 2 kinds of books a day. I have, at any given moment, a book that I'm reading by myself and then a book that I'm reading with my boyfriend. And I try not to read more than 1 book at a time, like on my own. I used to read lots of books. I used to have like 5 going at a time in like middle and high school, and I don't know why I lived that life because right now the idea of reading more than 1 book at a time is honestly overwhelming. So I don't do that anymore, and instead I just read 1 at a time, not including the book that I read with my boyfriend. So I'm gonna slap these down. Sometimes they're a little crooked. This one came out pretty straight. This one's a hair crooked, but that's okay. All right, so that's done. Then I have this piece. This is from one of the other things I did. It was a trimming of, it's a trimming of this. So this actually goes here, but I thought that it would be a pretty good banner at the top. And I think what I'm going to do is trim it a bit more because I want these leaves visible, right? So, well, let's see. Actually, no, I want to see this arch more than I want to see those leaves. So I'm going to just mark that the end of my page is about here. Then I'm going to cut that with my paper trimmer. And then I want to cut this in half. So I'm going to fold it. And then cut it. And that's going to make up the background of my header. And then just for your reference, I'm using this Tombow Mono Permanent Adhesive Roller. I like this because I don't like to wait for things to dry. And it's just a glue tape roller. So I lay it down and then it's like, it's stuck there. If I work really hard, sometimes you can peel it up and reposition, but in general, it's pretty permanent and it sticks quite well. Okay, so So I messed up here and actually went a little too far. And now there's adhesive on this page, and I don't want that there because it's going to stick to this page. So I'm actually going to get an eraser and erase it. I don't remember where I learned that tip, but if you're using one of these glue rollers and you accidentally get glue somewhere you don't want glue to be, an eraser will work wonders. It just kind of rubs it all off. All right, so that's the background. And I kind of feel, let's see, I'm going to use a couple of these black boxes. So these are black Happy Planner boxes from Colorful Boxes. And I'm going to trim them to create a section of blank space, but I want it to be long enough for me to write out the whole title reading log. So I'm going to cut off one of the black pieces from each side and put them together. And now I have this blank canvas on which to write reading log, and I think I'm going to use like 0.5 micron. And then I'm going to go back to my gold florals and cut in half something so that I can have something on both sides. I don't know if I want it to be like, yeah. And that just extends the design a bit further, adds a bit of sparkle. And then I have to decide how to do these boxes because this is an incredibly neutral spread. And usually I like color in the boxes, but I don't want to do that. So I think I'm going to make the headers gray. I'll start there. And I'm excited about this because if I do go ahead and color this in bits and pieces over the next couple of months, then you'll see what it all looks like during my end of year flip due once I finish this particular notebook. All right, so this is my book, start, finish, total, book, start, finish, total. I have these date dots, and I don't use a lot of foil in my planner spreads, but I have these from Scribble Prints Co. They are old because I haven't used foil in a while. And I think I'm going to use them to date the boxes because that brings a little something to the boxes without me, like something interesting, without me needing to color it in, because the gold still matches pretty neutrally. So I'm going to put all of those in off camera. Alright, so this is my reading log. I numbered 1 through 30 for the 30 days in September, and then I cut off and peeled up the last 2 boxes over here because each of these charts has 16 boxes. And so I've been doing a couple of 31-day months the past couple of months, August and July, and so I forgot that September had 30 days and I didn't need these. And there was too much like space I wouldn't have used. So I cut those off and pulled them up so that I could reclaim that space with a bit of decoration. And this is just a cutout from what I lost up here. So this goes up here and it all matches. And I really like how these numbers came out, and it's shiny and pretty, but also still very neutral. And I like it. So the next couple of spreads are my Days Read spread and my best book spread. And for this, I have these two cutouts. So these are from, I think, the title page. Yeah, so these actually go here. And I cut them out so that that would fit. And now I want to use them here as like headers or like side decoration for Days Read and best book. And for my Days Read spread, I thought it would be fun to use this page of acorns, and then I can color in with like different shades of brown maybe each day. What did I read for that day? So I'm going to paste this in and get those two pages set up. All right, so these two spreads are done. I've glued down the acorn page, numbered the acorns and the leaves 1 through 30, and then left some space for me to put in my key. For this spread, I like to mark with a different color on that day, whether I read the book that I read by myself, whether I read the book that I read with my boyfriend, or whether I read both books, just to see at a glance something fun, a visual, colorful representation of my reading for the month. And then I added this here, and I wanted it to stand out a bit more because I wanted these like edge things to be the headers. So I outlined it with a thick black, the one size of the Sakura Pigma Micron pens. And then I put a black box here from the Colorful Boxes Happy Planner book, wrote Days Read, and then over here, same header style with the header best book. And then I filled in space with some botanical stickers at the top and bottom, framed this area here so that I could put a cover of whatever the best book is, and then left a little section for me to write about why this was the best book of the month. And that's this setup. I like it more than I expected to, so that's fun. And then we get into my weeklies. So for my weeklies, I thought it would be fun to do a Dutch door spread that had these vertical sidebars like that. So I'm going to paste in this sidebar here, paste in this sidebar at the back, so on the very last weekly here, and then cut out this whole chunk right here. And I'm cutting out 8 squares in, and then I'm going to do a horizontal. So 4 days over here, 3 days over here, like that. All right, so I cut all the pages. I pasted down the side bar areas. This one somehow is a little crooked, so there's some extra white space here, but that's fine. If I color it in, then I'll color to the edge and it won't be noticeable. I used the gold date dots again, and I have this horizontal spread. All right, I'm going to restart this final flip through because my cell phone ran out of battery. So I was about to flip through my September reading journal setup. So we've got my cover page here, and then this was the spread that I didn't like and I completely redid. It's still not 100% one of my favorites. It's too busy up here, but I wanted something to distract from the lines where you can kind of tell that I put paper on top of the original headers. Not my favorite, but I still have my list here for my reading and my TBR. I still have my monthly days on this side, and then I changed the headers to be these smaller ones. Not my favorite spread, but like, it's okay. It's better than it was. I definitely like it better than how I previously had it. My reading log, very simple. Used my gold date dots here, and then cut a strip of a design right there, and then this extra piece up here I put down here. Then we've got my Days Read spread where I've numbered this page of like acorns and leaves from 1 through 30 with some extra ones for a color code, and then my Days Read header here. Then the best book header is over here. It's a mirror to this one, and then I left this little frame for the cover, and then a place to journal about why that book was my favorite book of the month. And then we have my Dutch Store weekly spreads, which I really love. These accents are visible throughout all 5 weeks, and just kind of flip. It's weird. I don't know how it ended up that September is the month with 5 weeks, even though it's a 30-day month. I guess it's because I pushed these August days over. Anyway, so we've got the first week, the second week, the third week, the fourth week, and then the fifth week. And here I decided not to put the days of the week off to the side. And then the last spread in this setup is my wrap up and pages read. My wrap up has this chart where I keep track of the books that I have read, when I started them, when I finished them, my rating for them, and then a notes page like section. And then my pages read spread has 1 to 30 for all the days in the month. And then this axis is where I'm going to put the actual number of pages read per whatever day. And then that's it. So 3 months in, we are also about halfway through this journal, which is good because it's looking like this will be a 6-month journal, which is what I was hoping for. And yeah, so that's it for this video. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.